friend puts password in your phone. I thought
What if your friend dies?
That is Yo. Hi guys, welcome back to the Adonis Talk, where we empower your journey to success and personal growth. My name is Jared.
And my name is Fahim. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about dopamine detox.
So what is dopamine?
Okay. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter. It's a chemical messenger that plays a crucial role in various brain functions. It is associated with reward, pleasure, risk, reinforcement, learning, and
Motivation,
all those kind of things.
yeah.
And motivation and learning. Dopamine is also released in response of pleasurable situations and acts as a signal that reinforces certain behaviors. It is also a key player in the brain's reward system.
A healthy baseline of dopamine is crucial for several aspects of physical and mental well-being. Dopamine, often referred as a feel-good neurotransmitter, it plays a central role, as Fahim said, in various functions within the brain and body. Here are some reasons why maintaining a healthy baseline of dopamine is essential.
One of the reasons for dopamine in your body is mood regulation. It helps you to have that feel-good emotions. Not having enough dopamine in your system likely will lead you to have depression and anxiety and those kind of things. The second one is motivation and reward system. Like we said, you need dopamine when you do a certain activity or something and you get those rewards. You have that dopamine system reward in your mind, in your brain that fires up, and that will basically make you do the same thing again.
Another one is motivation and reward system. So dopamine is a key component of the brain's reward system.
Mm-hmm.
It reinforces certain behaviors by providing a sense of pleasure and satisfaction. The role of dopamine, basically, in this sense, is going to motivate you to do something to get dopamine. So it's basically puts cues in your brain to do something like, I don't know, you're hungry. So you're going to start saying expectations of, oh, I'm going to be eating. And then once you eat, you fulfill this cue. So you're having this reward in your brain because obviously that's why eating or sex or all this stuff is just so good, because obviously eating equals to obviously not dying.
Yeah.
And obviously, eating and having your nutritional inputs, and sex basically equates to reproduction and having kids.
It's a driver, right?
Yeah, it's a driver. Yeah, so basically,
to do hard works and stuff like that. It is a driver
because it basically, what dopamine does is basically it puts in relation expectations with experience. So basically, the cues are going to be your expectations for something, and then if the experience exceeds these expectations, you get a boost in dopamine. If the expectations meet the experience, there's no real change to your dopamine. And then if the expectations outweigh the experience you get afterwards from it, so for the reward, you're basically gonna have a trough in dopamine. And that's the bad side of dopamine, because then that's when you become unmotivated, unhappy, because obviously it's also the happy hormone.
Yeah.
Well, not hormone, neurotransmitter, sorry. Which is sort of true, but not really.
Yeah.
So yeah.
With that point, I want to talk about cognitive functions as well. Basically, what he's trying to say is that if you have enough dopamine in your system, you can do things more efficiently. And I think this also carries on to your cognitive abilities. You can learn better. You can memorize stuff better, because you're more likely to be engaged in something, if you have enough dopamine. And you'll see a lot of people with ADHD or like depression. They don't want to learn, they don't want to do all these kind of things. It's just that the brain's just very foggy and stuff like that. So that's one of the benefits of dopamine in your
Another
body.
one is motor controls, which I found fascinating. So basically, dopamine involves involved in motor control and coordination. deficiency in dopamine is actually linked to movement disorders such as Parkinson's disease. So it's characterized by trembling, tremors, stiffness, and difficulty with balance and coordination. Another one is stress response.
Dopamine, it helps regulate body emotions and all these kind of stuff. Like I said in the first point.
Another one is addiction and impulse control. So I think you know that. Dopamine is a key player in addictions. So that's why, especially when you look at drug addicts, they're always on this pursuit of just this dopamine hits. Same for any addiction, honestly. Same for social media and entertainment addictions, porn addictions, sugar addictions. I mean, it's all the same. So basically, they're going to want to go and get addicted to this feel nice and feel good hit in your brain. And what happens is basically when you abuse of this, especially when it comes to hardcore drugs, you can have this peak, but then it'll go below your baseline, and you're going to go into a trough. And basically, you're going to want more and more and more because you're under your baseline, and it's going to go even lower and lower. So you're just stuck in this vicious cycle. Another one is sleep regulation.
So interestingly, dopamine is also involved in sleep cycles. That's something that I don't know. So yeah, imbalances in dopamine can cause bad sleep cycles.
Okay. Social behavior. So dopamine influences social behavior. Motivation for social interaction. So basically, motivation is really like the key underlying aspect of dopamine. And also feelings of social reward. So adequate dopamine levels contribute to positive social experiences and connections. And finally, there's appetite and weight regulation. So obviously, knowing all this, how do you maintain a good baseline of dopamine and also not get any troughs or over exposure of it?
Well, the first thing that he can actually do is a balanced nutrition. So having a lot of rich nutrient
rich
dense food, like that'll just give you the exact nutrients for your mind and for your body, and just give you that optimal dopamine production. The second thing would be regular exercises. So you want to talk about that?
I'm just gonna add something about the other one.
Sure.
So it also includes amino acids because that is the precursor to dopamine production. That's how dopamine is.
I didn't know that.
It's the same way testosterone is produced through cholesterol. Dopamine is through amino acids. So obviously protein.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to have a good protein intake. So obviously protein, dairy, nuts, and certain vegetables that contribute obviously to a healthy dopamine baseline. And again, we keep talking about good nutrition and all that, but it just links to everything. So obviously your overall health is going to impact so many factors. And obviously today we're just talking about dopamine.
Yeah, just have a good nutrition, and there's so many hidden benefits that we don't even know with just good nutrition, because that's how we are supposed to eat, right? We are not supposed to eat random junk food like I don't know anything. We're not built for that. We are supposed to eat nutritious, normal foods.
Yeah, normal you can find. Yeah, that God gives us.
Well, God has given us. Yeah.
Because then obviously junk food and foods containing too high levels of sugar or other addictive components can obviously destroy your dopamine levels and just get you into addictions, which is obviously not something we want for you guys. Another one is regular exercise.
So regular exercises, engage in physical exercises. This will lead to an increase in dopamine. I think Andrew Huberman has said this before. Right after an exercise, your dopamine increases, mainly your endorphins as well. It is kind of a nuanced relationship between all these serotonin, dopamine, and stuff like that. When I say dopamine, I say the feel-good hormones, right? So when you do exercise, you will have an increase in dopamine, endorphins, and those kind of stuff. So yeah, regular exercise, very beneficial for your for dopamine release and just make you more happy, Another one is quality sleep. I think this is
it makes sense again.
This makes sense.
Guys, have your sleep, and it ensures adequate and A lack of sleep can disrupt dopamine regulations, obviously. So we told you countless times, lack of sleep can highly impact your brain functions, obviously, as dopamine is found in the brain. So that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So activities like, no, what am I doing? So establishing a consistent sleep schedule, creating a conductive sleep environment, and practice good sleep hygiene. Obviously, hydration links to a good diet. So stay hydrated, guys, as dehydration can negatively affect, again, brain functions and neurotransmitter functions,
This is so
including
sad.
dopamine.
I don't have water right now. I'm dehydrated.
Yeah, same. I'm actually thirsty.
It's funny how we say some things.
Yeah, then we don't
preach it.
apply it. No, obviously, we
Yeah,
should
I'm
pre-
kidding.
yeah. So obviously aim to consume an adequate amount of water. What is adequate? I think it's like 2.6 liters now, or something.
Why is it increasing every day?
I feel like it's increasing all the time. I think it's like varying. Wait,
No, I actually don't know. Like,
adequate
I think it is
water.
2 liters.
I think it's 2.6. Whoa, 3 liters.
How's 3 liters? No way, bro. I'm not drinking 3 liters of water.
For men, the Institute of Medicine (IOM) recommends a total of 13 cups, about 3 liters, of fluid every day. For women, they suggest 9 cups, a little over 2 liters. So yeah. Anyway,
no,
drink water, guys. Drink it. Aim for 3 liters.
If I drink 3 liters of water, right, my piss will be literally be like clear.
I was
It'll
gonna
be
say white, but yeah, clear. White. You're white. Are you sure you're peeing, man? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we're not on water, guys. If you want
But-
more on water,
but the
go
thing is,
look
right-
at our episode on water.
Yeah.
It's about fame again.
Don't put it on me. But the thing is, like, a lot of people. Wait.
Just looking at the bottom.
Yeah, a lot of people are not drinking water anyways. So yeah, don't worry about not drinking enough water.
Yeah.
I mean, worry about drinking enough water. Don't worry about not drinking too much water.
Yeah.
Because most people are severely dehydrated. Sorry, yeah.
Don't worry. Another one is limiting stimulant intakes. That's what we're going to go on about. So that's why we should practice dopamine detox on a regular basis. So
Yeah.
you should be mindful, obviously, of stimulant intakes such as caffeine, sugar, drugs.
Drugs, obviously.
Yeah, and I mean video games. I mean the high stimulant
stuff. Yeah.
activities and substances. So while obviously they can provide short-term boost in alertness or obviously feel good and gratification, it can lead to a tolerance of this. So as I said, when your when your expectations obviously outweigh the experience, so your reward, you get tolerance, and obviously you can want it more and more, and you're gonna indulge it more and more, which will f up your your dopamine regulations.
Yeah. So basically, in bro science, for example, imagine you're playing video games, right? You're playing this video game. It's really fun. It's really amazing. You know, you're having the time of your life. You know, it's very stimulant, very fast paced and everything. You get out of your game, and then now you forgot that you have to go to the gym. And then you realize, oh no, I have to go to the gym. That's that's a lot of work now. That's just too difficult and everything. I think it's just much harder if you do something, not just game, but if you do something very, very stimulant, and you try to do something which is not very stimulant, like for example, going to the gym or something, it's just very difficult for you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like reading,
For
like
sure, yeah.
when you compare the dopamine boost through video games or addiction, like substance addictions or porn, and then you compare that to just the dopamine release of reading a good book, you're not gonna find any pleasure in reading that book, and you're just gonna be like, back to Minecraft.
Back to Minecraft.
So yeah, no clue.
But that's the beauty, you know, like when you have dopamine releases from these kind of books or something like that, it's more fulfilling.
Yeah,
And I don't know why exactly it is, but it's just more fulfilling.
Well, because you know deep down that when you're playing video games, you know there's always this little voice like, oh my god, what are you doing? You could be, you know, working out or going on a hike or spending time with your family and stuff. But when you read a book, you know that it's good for you. You're learning something, and it's training your brain too. Like instead of, it's like those people that say they play video games to unwind after their day. I'm like, bruv, if I looked at your brain right now and see the electroactivity of your brain while you're playing video games, or compared to reading a good book, your brain is not winding down, man. If
It's
anything,
winding up.
it's even more hyper stimulated than before. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
like we said, right? If you're doing something similar, I think it's gonna go above the baseline, above the baseline, and it's gonna go below the baseline. And that's gonna make you feel like shit.
yeah.
Which, on the contrary, if you read a book or something very low stimulant, I think it's gonna stay above normally.
Yeah.
And then I don't think it's gonna dip down as much or at all. Anyways,
Yeah, no, because
I think,
Dr. Human has a good analogy for that. He compares it to a wave pool. So just imagine you've got a pool,
Uh-huh.
right? And then the higher the waves in that pool, the more water comes out of the pool,
Mm.
and the lower the level of the water is. So then to get that water back in, it takes time, obviously. And yeah, so the higher the waves, the lower the level of the water is, so the lower your dopamine levels are. And then it just takes time to go back at that. And then obviously the lower the level of the water, it's hard and hard to make waves. So you're trying constantly to make those waves as big as they were, but your level is just so low that you're just trapped in this virtuous cycle. So yes, I love that.
That is why
energy.
you
It
drink
makes a lot of
water.
sense. That's why you drink water. Fill in that pool, guys. No, I really like it. So that's why you want just what you're trying to aim for is just constant, small, efficient waves in that pool, right? That keeps your levels at normal and healthy, but also obviously you need that dopamine hits for, again, motivation, well-being, etc. So obviously we're not just talking about dopamine for nothing, right? We're leading up to dopamine detox. So it was big. Well, it started big like a year or two ago on the internet. I think every YouTuber did a dopamine detox video.
Who didn't?
We're not, so we're here to talk about that, but also share experiences in it, because we've been in the self-development space for a while, and I think dopamine detox is a big pillar, not pillar, but a big thing in self-development. Before we jump back into Alex's story, a quick shout out to today's sponsor, MYBONK. So what is MYBONK? MYBONK is a cutting-edge Lightning Network Bitcoin node designed for a seamless plug-and-forget setup, making Bitcoin transactions not only faster, but more accessible. Manufactured and endorsed in the Bitcoin hub of El Salvador, it's not just technology, it's progress. So next time you think of MYBONK, think beyond the node. It's a commitment to Bitcoin's future. Huge thanks to MYBONK for making this episode possible. Back to the show. People often overcomplicate dopamine detox.
Okay.
It shouldn't be that complicated. It's just basically just stop all the high stimulating activities you do. So if you play video games or watch porn, or all those like high stuff, social media, doom scrolling, and again, dopamine detox should only be for a period, right? It's just a way to again refill your pool, get them to a healthy baseline, but it should just be cutting it off or reducing it, but the best is a detox. So the thing would be to just cut it fully for a period of time.
How long do you think should?
That's the thing. A lot of YouTubers like to clickbait you guys and saying, "Here's how to reset your brain in 24 hours." I'm like, bruv, come on, you're not gonna do anything in 24 hours. I'd say a good start would be, and it seems extreme, but a week.
A week, yeah.
So try to put it like, the best thing to do is like be busy. Like if you got exams coming up, like our case, obviously it's the best time to do it because you're going to be busy anyway. So why not just obviously cut all this off?
Yeah.
And just have a feel for it, see how it goes. So obviously, when it comes to any substances, again, drug addictions or substance addictions it's another level. So obviously seek medical attention. You can't treat it the same way as other high stimulating dopamine release activities. But then so like binge eating or high sugar contained products Again, video games, entertainment, porn,
What else?
doom scrolling, so social media,
Gaming.
etc. So all of that. I just stop it for a period of time, and again, the easiest thing to do is just replace it with other better habits, like just spending time with your family. Again, the easiest thing is to do it when you're busy. So if you're going on holiday, or if you've got exams, so you can just put it there. I don't know, do you have anything to add on that? It's pretty straightforward. You can't overcomplicate this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like some people, like they're like super high on the level of stimuli, and I don't think it's reasonable for them to go all the way to like.
It depends on on the. That's what I'm saying. To keep themselves busy, but then if it depends on the level of addiction towards the stuff. But then I think any average. I mean, if you're motivated again to if you know you've got a problem, and obviously if you found this video, it's because you're trying to look for a solution. It means you're motivated to actually make a change, even though you're not highly motivated because your dopamine levels are fried.
You're probably skipping this.
Skipping going to the comments. But
there's no comments.
There's no comments because we've got no community in your face.
Please comment, guys.
Yeah, guys. Honestly, leave us the comments, bad, negative or positive. Just tell us how we're doing. It's highly appreciated. Leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe. And for those that are listening to us on the podcast, again, download our episodes and subscribe to us for daily.
And give us dopamine here.
Give us dopamine for weekly. Great stuff. I can't even market our episodes.
You can't even market
so shit. No, that's okay. Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah. So.
So do you want to go on to your experience with dopamine detox, or should I go first, or do you want to talk about something?
You can talk about
dopamine
detox.
So again, I've been in the space for a while now. I don't really know how long. Yeah, but I think I've done the dopamine detoxes in the past. Small, big ones. I think one of my biggest ones, to a certain extent, was not deliberate. So I was at this part. Some of my friends will know what I'm talking about. We were at this a friend's party.
Okay. In
this like big rented hall. And obviously, she wasn't really my friend. She was more of a friend of a friend, even though I did know her and we did sort of speak. But there's a lot of guys I didn't know there, and we were partying, blah blah, as we did, getting over the top drunk. And I charged my phone because they had no battery, and I've always got to keep my parents up to date. Otherwise, any good parents would, right? They would flip out. So I charged it, and then I just basically went back to partying, took a nap, woke up, went back to my phone, and it was gone. Bro. So my phone was gone. Thank you for him. So it was an iPhone X. I think it was 2 years ago now. So still something. Anyway, so I was like, well, damn. So I was thinking of getting a new phone. I was like, okay, well, new phone. We did try to track it for a while. Couldn't find it, so that was gone. No, we did. Crazy. So a week afterwards, so with the Apple Find My Phone, Apple, we managed to relocate it into this building next to the train station. So there's like a dodgy place. Yeah, exactly. So we did go with my mom and stuff. We looked around, couldn't find it. With my dad, we went in all the apartments, knocked on everybody's door. Oh, do you have a son or daughter that was at this party? And got my son's phone. It's a bit cringe at the time, but we were desperate for the phone, and we couldn't find it. But so a week went past, and we checked again because we had a notification. And man, my phone was in the south of France. No joke. Like, we looked on the map and it was like southeast, like under Bordeaux. I was like, how the F did it get there? Like,
where did you live?
Belgium.
Oh shit, you live in Belgium. What?
I was in southern Belgium, and I mean, it's like a 14-hour road trip. I mean, so I suppose someone like sold it to someone, or I don't know what happened. Anyway, long story short, no phone. So I thought I'd just buy a new one. But then I thought I don't really have the budget for that now. So I'll just grab a Nokia. So those little
the Nokia one.
3310. I don't think it was a 3310. I think it was a something. It's got really weird names anyway. So I had this Nokia, right? And it was, I think it was, May, June. So it was leading up to the summer holidays. And I thought, well, let's make the best of this situation. Obviously, I didn't have a phone. I'm not going to cry about it. I mean, it's gone. It's gone. South of France now. I'm not going to go and get it.
Game over, bro.
So I thought I'll just make the best of the situation and keep it for the holidays. And then get a new one for my next school year. And honestly, I loved it so much that I kept it for 8 months. So for 8 months, I had the Nokia. Yeah, honestly, I loved the experience because and then we were on holiday, and obviously, I wasn't always on my social media and talking to my friends. So I was just always on this little Nokia, and obviously on the Nokia, you can only call, text, and play Snake. And I love it. I think the only downside to this story is because I love to document my life. I love filming with my friends. I think it's a great way to retrospectively look at your memories. But with Nokia, you've got like 5 megabytes of storage on it.
Megapixel.
And honestly, so
what's a megabyte?
So you got no storage, so you can take, I think, like 10 pictures max. They're all blurry, and like 1 or 2 videos. Anyway, so I love this. Obviously, I still had a laptop, so I wouldn't call it a full-on detox from. It was mainly a detox from social media, even though I did do a detox on sugary food and stuff, so sodas and stuff.
But wait, like, why did it made you enjoy that moment without a phone? Like, what was it? Did it because it forced you into a present moment?
Yeah, I think I just felt more grounded and more present than ever. I mean, especially because it was at the holidays, so we were just there, and I just felt present. I wasn't distracted by the phone or had these impulses. I thought it was sort of hard at first, maybe the first week, and then I just got used to it. And I think what I really loved with the phone is that you get when you write because you've got this little dial and you have to press like 3 times to get the C.
That's so
and
stuff.
And honestly, it makes you think of the messages you're sending because it takes you like 15 minutes to send one message, and you're really thinking of what you're sending. So you just don't like impulsively or automatically send a message, and then you're like, oh wait, I didn't mean it that way or anything. So it really makes you think of what you're sending. So I really like that. So after that, retrospectively, I did find it a very good detox way of getting away from social media.
Imagine you're trying to send an emergency text like I'm dying or something.
That's what you done. So I would call it in that case, but yeah, SOS. Yeah, no, it'd be.
I really have to think about this.
Let me think. But my parents think that I basically converted all my time that was on my phone to my laptop, which wasn't necessarily wrong. I wouldn't say I spent as much time as I did on my phone as on my laptop. I did spend time on my laptop back then because I just started having a laptop. I think it was like a year and a half ago now. But you didn't do the same thing. I mean, on your laptop, you obviously didn't have. It wasn't a Mac. It was like a Windows HP computer anyway. So you obviously didn't have social media on it or anything. I wasn't really exposed to YouTube Shorts, so I really never did that. I mean, I did watch YouTube content.
At that time, YouTube Shorts wasn't like popular.
It was 2 years ago. It was
anyways.
It's always a bit weird on the laptop. And I did consume some content, but just much less because it's not in your pocket, right?
Yeah.
And it always stayed at my dad's, so I wasn't on it as much. And then when it came to content stuff, I consumed it differently. Like I was doing more research. I got more into self-development. So I think it was a great way. And my parents are like, so I aced my exams that year, obviously, because I didn't have a phone. And I personally thought, obviously, it's because I wasn't on my phone that much. My parents disagreed. They were like, well, you spend as much time on your laptop. But I do think that just not having a phone there was a big change. And what I found very interesting is that when I got my phone back in January, a year ago now, what I noticed is that when I went back on social media, I wouldn't say addicted, but I got back into it straight away. So it just shows you how addicting and how these corporations and this big GAFAM are spending millions and millions, if not billions of dollars into actually studying the human brain and doing everything that's possible to keep your attention. And it just shows you that I wasn't on social media for 8 months and in a couple of days I was just back in it. Obviously not, I wouldn't say not as much as I did before, but I just get quickly just back into it. So it just shows you how
It's crazy.
bad it
It's
is.
crazy.
So yeah, honestly, so my feedback on that was that I loved it. I would do it again, honestly. I think that after uni, I just cut it off again. Because at uni, I sort of do need it, like, obviously for social interactions and keeping up to date stuff. And now we've got the podcast, so we got to keep that on too. But yeah. But then what do you think with dopamine detox is that it's one thing, and I think it is a beginner step in self-development, but then you've got to go further than that, and that once you're really deep into this, like, you just acknowledge these stuff and you sort of detox yourself, because you should do it on a short period of time. So I still sometimes, once in a while, maybe not for a week, but for a couple of days, I just stop everything, but in the most brutal way, where I just honestly just stop everything and be like just a book and a notepad, and that's all I have to entertain myself.
Yeah, I feel like dopamine detox is a tool to help you get to where you want faster, because it just helps you, make the normal things feel more enjoyable and just more.
Absolutely, just recalibrates your basically, basically it just refills your pool.
Yeah, basically, unfucks your mind from today's society, and just
Well, it's mad. I saw this
society.
study where it basically showed that the levels of dopamine about our baseline. I can't really remember how it went, but I think it was like our baseline was higher back in the day, or that we could get dopamine hits easily back in the day than today. Like, I think our generation,
That makes sense.
I think our brains are just getting so much tolerance through this from generation to generation that our just dopamines are getting more and more fried, which is frightening. So back in the day, a man would get, I mean, it's an example, but get as much dopamine as to just watching the birds and seeing a woman play the piano or something than a guy playing video games for like a minute or something mad. So we just live in a hyper-stimulated world now where you just gotta deal with it and try your best to avoid all this. More quality time, just reading a book, learning, spending time with your family, friends. What have I done? Who am I?
Deactivate the mindset for like 4 or 5 minutes. Basically, another one is social behavior. So, what is it?
I was going so fast. Okay, what is it?